Sonic Riders. You know, I could never imagine why Sega, of all companies, would get rid of this series. Especially when it's the introduction of me and the Rouge. And just all the people that love this series. Like, it offered so much. And, what's up, Slowpokes? This is, Jet the Hawk. And, I guess, welcome to, Sonic Riders Introspective, I guess. I just wanted to really take the time to showcase what this series was all about. Like, look at everyone that's been clamoring for a revival of this series, or just talking about it recently. I think this series could use a lot of love. And, like, to discuss this video, we're going to be going over the gameplay, story, achievements, legacy, and lastly, concluding thoughts. But this series really owed a lot to me. Because, you know, it's where I was first created, of course. But to all the fans that really loved this series and everything it offered, all the style, all the special things that only came from this series that's been resurging lately, I think it's worth talking about. So, without further ado, let's get into why Sonic Riders was the peak of Sonic spin-offs.
In order to understand what makes this series so great, aside from me, of course, would be its controls. The game feels very fast, very fluent, very momentum-based, and its controls are not very hard to understand, but there's a lot of layers to them that makes the game worth replaying over and over so you can really hone the skills and master the extreme gear. Like, for example, knowing when to jump forward or input backwards will allow you to take shortcuts by going farther by holding forward or going higher by holding back, and also depending on how the ramp is curved. Also, boosting will make you go a lot faster, and just knowing how to maintain the boost and maintain your air gauge will allow you to steamroll the competition. Now, let's go over the different types of characters and gears that reside in the game. Firstly, we have the Sonic Heroes power system of speed, flight, and power characters. Speed characters, such as Moi and Sonic, are able to grind on rails within the tracks. Also, we have the fastest top speed when boosting, in exchange for weaker acceleration. Now then there's flight characters like Wave, or Tails, whom have the ability to just go off special ramps or dig these boost rings that float in the air. In exchange for weaker speed, they have better acceleration. And then there's power characters, such as Storm or that Knucklehead, who have the ability to knock off obstacles along the track, whether it be robots, cars, trees, etc. And they also have the strongest boost attacks, and handle well off-road in exchange for weaker speed and acceleration. Now, these pale in comparison to the types of gears you can use. There are 3 types: skates, bikes, and the boards. There's also a subtype known as ring gears, where they use rings for consumption, but we won't get into it.
The 3 main extreme gear types are boards, skates, and bikes. Boards are the most balanced, simple as that. Skates allow you to boost for a shorter period, but they take up less air, so if you're into boosting a lot more throughout the match, use those. Bikes are the opposite. The boost lasts for longer, but they take up way too much air. So if you want to play risky, you can use those. Now, as the resident extreme gear master, knowing what characters you want to use, knowing what type of character you want to use, and what type of gear to complement that character will make or break how well you perform in the race. And as an outsider looking in, let's say I was a newbie, I think the welcome challenge is a good thing. A lot of people tend to think it's a bad thing, but think of it as actually riding a real skateboard. You're not gonna expect to get it on the first try, as with any game, or any game with relative difficulty. That's where the beauty of this series comes from. Or at least this game in particular, because, well, Zero Gravity, I meant, is a little too easy in terms of how it controls. But the welcome challenge of this game really makes it different from all the rest. It makes it more unique from other racing games, like Mario Kart, for example, or even Team Sonic Racing. It's things like that that really add to the depth of the game. And it's not even just that. There's also, maintaining your boost to maintain your top speed and keep going fast. And there's also using drifts. Drifts are one of the most important things of being an extreme gear rider. Take it from me, personally, as the best. Come on, guys. But anyway, let's say, for example, you're on a straightaway, and you're having a hard time turning as a power character. Using your drift to boost your speed on a straightaway, but not only that, but just using it as a method of turning will allow you to keep your balance and keep control all within your power. Don't let the board control you. That is my advice. Control the board. I think it goes without saying that this game allows you to really have a lot of control over your character. And not only that, but an underappreciated part is how much influence you have over the match while you're playing. Like Mario Kart, for example, you don't really have a lot of control over how well you do when it comes to these items, for example. But in this game, items aren't really the name of the game. It's more so your skill as a player versus the opponent, as it should be. Such a forgotten aspect in a lot of later racing games that this game holds up surprisingly well with. Now, let's get into another part of this game that needs I'm talking to, which is the story. The story of the game goes like this. Eggman finds out that we have the key to Babylon Garden, and essentially hires us in order to gain the Chaos Emeralds in order to awaken said Babylon Garden. But we find out that there's someone who stands in his path, that being Sonic the Hedgehog. To which I say this about him.
The fastest creature on the ground, but in the air, with me and my extreme gear, he's just a joke.
Still love that line to this day. Anyway, we go off and steal one of the Chaos Emeralds, to which Knuckles, oh well, rip stolen. Anyway, Sonic gives us a chase. I compete with him, you know, doing the usual that you see today. He tries to escape me, and to which I do this. Take that!
So, you're supposed to be the fastest thing alive?
That line goes so hard every time I think about it. But this is when we enter the World Grand Prix that Eggman hosts, to which it requires one Chaos Emerald under an entry, broadcasting this through the entire world, and showing that we have entered. Sonic decides to enter as well. Look at how handsome I look, though. Just look how handsome I am. Yeah, Sonic enters, and oh, now here comes everyone in the comments.
Sorry, but
Listen, I only heard about this after the fact that she did this, but yeah, she looks at Tails' board that she made for Sonic. She talks about how impressive it is and everything, but here it comes. Here, watch. There, right there. See, everyone thinks that I cheated against Sonic just because Wave put the bomb there. I didn't know about this. I have zero clue that this happened. Not only that, I strive to win fairly. Let me put that out there. I like good competition, even if I lose. Please understand that. But as us rogues do, we love a good little trash talk, so she trash talks Tails a good deal. Also, look at these idiots. They can see the bomb. They're looking on the side where it is. Whatever. Now with that out the way, stay mad, little bro. Oh, bozo. Anyway, now we have Knuckles and Storm having their own little scuffle. Truly nothing special, really. Just two meatheads arguing. Nothing that I really want to sit through. But this is what's funny here. This robot was just minding his own business, and Storm goes in to try and punch Knuckles, and boom! Rip E10,000R. So Tweedledee and Tweedledum decide to settle in on the racetrack, as they should, of course. Then we move on to me. I'm just observing my key to Babylon Garden. Storm tells me about how he, lost and purging into my door again. And this is where he blames Wave for him losing instead of his own skills, which I'm very disappointed. To which she says,
yes,
the famous line,
S-U-C-K suck.
But then, in order for him to make it up to me, I send him off to go and search Eggman's base. To which he knocks down my painting of my head. Falcon Kick!
After that whole fiasco, I just want to relax, and then there's... Wave yapping in my ear. So I decide instead, I'll go torment Sonic a little bit. I just sneak away, as she's still yapping, and Yeah, so cool.
Not very impressive for someone of your reputation.
Not.
No, I've checked you out, actually. Not bad. I admit you're pretty fast on your feet. But here, it's a whole different story when riding with extreme gear. You see, to be the fastest on the gear, you have to become one with the wind. Without wings, well, you might as well kiss the ground and go home.
It felt good to mess with him. Anyway, Storm brings us back some information about our people, to which Eggman wants to use Babylon Garden to find some ancient technology. I'm not really a big fan of that, or world domination. I don't care about all that stuff. I just want treasure and to beat that loser Sonic in a race. And what? Wade convinces me. Instead, we could use said technology to make us more money. So, as we race off into the finals of the World Grand Prix, look at this idiot thinking he's so confident. Be ready to snack on sand, bitch. We have to give in our Chaos Emeralds, and I decided to torment him a little bit more.
Ha! You're lucky you got this far. It obviously wasn't due to your skill.
Ow.
I won't lose now.
Yeah, Sonic, you totally won't lose to me at this next very moment. Totally won't. As we speed off into the last lap, watch him go. He thinks he's about to win. But watch this, watch. I had nothing to do with Wave exploding his board, okay? I did not know that the bomb was there. I thought he just fumbled, all right? Like, sure, I may be a lot of things, but I am no cheater. I hate cheating. Cheating is such a loser way to win. If I can't win with my own skills, the win is meaningless to me. But yeah, I bask in my glory.
Dirt suits you so well. Ugh.
Yeah, eat that dirt, Sonic. Eat it! Now I summon up the Babylon Garden with the Chaos Emeralds and the key. Look at this. Alright, let's also talk about this CGI animation that they used for these cutscenes. It looks fantastic. And this is for a GameCube game, by the way. But yeah, we awakened Babylon Garden after so many years. We finally get to find the place our ancestors came from. Look at how nice it looks. I still visit and have a place there every once in a while, but we are usually on the move in our airship. We don't usually like to stay in one place for too long. Anyway, Sonic and I give chase to the stupid doctor who stole our Babylon key, trying to take over the world.
Thanks.
Sonic dives down to try and take after him. I also was there as well. We consider this our rematch.
You can't catch up with him. Get out of my way. Is that what you think? Take a look at this. I'll show you what true speed really is.
Bring it on, Sonic! So it seems like the rest of our squad also has their little hands tied. Storm and Knuckles, again, always playing to throw hands. Yada yada. You know, it's still surprising to me that those robots actually survived. Especially that red one. You got knocked around by Knuckles and Storm. That's like two of the strongest characters anyway. This moment.
Even without wings, I can still fly. Right?
Damn hedgehog! Bastard. And then this dude takes pity on me after I lose. At least the race was actually fun. Whatever. We take off with our key. We want to see what our ancestors truly left for us. So we open up the gate. To which... the digital Babylon. Digital dimension. We race off to see what it's all about. Look at these 4 idiots, really. At a time like this, you could at least have a little more decency. Whatever. We race off and to see what's going on. We hear it. The call. Not surprising for anyone that these 4 also gotta try and come in here too. It doesn't even involve you guys. But there it is. The one that was making the noise. The Guardian of Babylon Garden. I don't know why he had such beef with us. We're the Babylon Rogues too. We're Babylonians. Like, shouldn't we just have immediate access to what is rightfully ours? And then this dude tries to pull up on us. Really? Guns? Like, we aren't fast enough to take you out, Egghead. So in a funny way to troll Egghead, we decided to give him the Treasure of Babylon Garden, which is actually just the prototype gear first ever conceived by our Babylonian ancestors. And that pretty much marks the end of the story. The story is very lighthearted, it's very Sonic. Like, in the terms of, and you would believe this in like another main series game. And also, it delves into the backstory of us rogues, which, even after the sequel, it's still much of a mystery what is truly out there for us. What are the Babylonians truly about? You know? But anyway, let's move on to the next segment of this video, which would be the achievements you get in this game. And trust me, there's quite a few. So, let's get into it, shall we? Like I said, there are an abundance of achievements you can get in this game. First being through the story mode, completing both stories to get you Dr. Eggman, Shadow, Rouge, and Cream. Then there's the mission mode, which, as you can see here, I send my team out to do a couple missions for me, and then I eventually do some myself. Apparently Sonic and his group caught wind of this, damn it, Storm. And we have a couple missions where we have to go against them. These missions can range from collecting treasure and junk that, when used, can repair certain extreme gears. There are also simple missions that just require you to get a bunch of rings. Or you need to do a certain amount of tricks and those tricks can reward you points. Or there's also the missions where you have to fight one of us rogues. I think the fact that there are missions in this game add a lot of replayability and depth you wouldn't really see in a lot of other mainstream racing games these days. Again, using it as an example, Mario Kart. The only Mario Kart game that I remember that has missions of some capacity was the DS games. And they are good, but the later games don't adopt this. And instead, there are just like meaningless missions in such as time trials, which are repetitive after a while. Sonic Riders having their own mission mode, and these missions are very unique. Like, sure, they become repetitive in the sense that they are reused, but each mission in and of themselves are different. And even the final mission, just taking on all 3 of us at once, it fit Sonic's character, you know? The little descriptions after you beat a mission are also they add a lot more character to us rogues. Like after this mission against Sonic, I talk about how, even though I might have lost, I lost with dignity and through my own skills. I don't want to win through cheating. That is what's proven. By completing these missions at the best possible way you can, which is determined by the golden emblem, you get access to the final 3 characters, II, Knights, and Ulala. You get the Chaos Emerald gear and the last possible extreme gears you can collect. Now, with that being said, let's get into the legacy that these games have left behind for you fans.
no better way to talk about the legacy this game left behind would be the ones who developed Sonic Riders DX, Sonic Riders Tournament Edition, and Sonic Riders REGRAVITIFIED by Extreme Gear Labs. Shout out to them. Check their channel out and check out their Twitter. Check out their website in the description so you can get access to all their links. But yeah, look at how much effort they put into recreating this game from the ground up. Even adding a bunch of new characters. You got Silver, Chaos, and Metal Sonic. But I think the most impressive thing here is their ability to add so much more depth to what the game already established. Like, there's online play, there's actual balancing across the gears, like even more balancing than there already was. New super force for the characters like Shadow, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, you know, all that jazz. Like, you wouldn't see this by Sega anytime soon. You'd probably just see a whole new game, right? Even new stages and stage reworks as well. Like, there's so much this game can offer. This whole series, in fact. And even Hypersonic gets an introduction. This is a love letter to all those who love Sonic Riders. This is something you can't take away from this game, and it's how much their fans truly care about this series. They want the series to do well. They want it to come back. So much so that they're willing to put in all this time and effort just to make these games as playable as possible, to the point where there's even tournaments, there's even leaderboards for those who are taking the game competitively. That's another talking point as well. Competitively speaking, these games are ripe for the pickings for competitive events and everything. Like, with all the rebalancing, the online play, like, it's all there. There's so much that Sega can do, even by taking inspiration from their fans here, to bring these games back in modern form, to truly evolve them past what they are. But after Free Riders, they just have shown little interest for decades. But now that could all change. To even go off of their legacy as well, there's the IDW comics that are pretty much in a Riders arc right now. There's Sonic Speed Simulator, which shows off me, of course, Wave, Storm, and just overall Riders content. And even recently with Sonic vs. Speed Battle, Extreme Gear Sonic is there. He's in the game. So it's clear that Sega has some interest in Riders currently. They just need to act upon that interest. Show your fans that you cared so much about this series that you can bring it back into modern day. Make it better than just another Sonic version of Mario Kart, you know? There's so much potential, and the fans are showing us that. So Sega, please, bring Riders back. Do it. Also, there is one more, even a controversial game, you know, Free Riders, that got its own kind of mod in. Let's just say, a lot of fans have been very, very happy with it. That's right, the impossible actually happened. Sonic Free Riders, without that shitty-ass, disgusting KINECT garbage that plagued it for so many years, that effectively killed the series, was all taken away due to REI-SAN and his team. Look, everything, controller, everything. It's fixed. This is the lengths that Sonic fans will go to for these games. For years, this has not been possible because of how the KINECT is so tied to the game. But look, everything, from the multiplayer to the team-up mechanics to every other mechanic in the game, has been configured for a controller to make the definitive Sonic Free Riders experience. If the die-hard fans of this series can truly make miracles like this, Sega, anything's possible. But let's get into the conclusion. With all these points that I brought up throughout the video, Sonic Riders is truly a game or rather a series that is so special to everyone. It's unique, it's different, And its fans have proven that there's so much untapped potential. So much that if Sega just acted upon making a new game, I'm sure it would be a huge success. Especially with all the writer stuff that's going on right now. But only time will tell. Thank you, Slowpokes, for tuning into this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and catch you all later.